Welcome back, guys. So, this is the last module in the chapter Neoplasia. So, over the journey of Neoplasia, we have discovered many interesting facts, many interesting concepts, linking with our Indian tradition, as well as learning Neoplasia in the form of story, in the form of many new things. So, in the last video, I said that I'll make sure that you learn and you will be able to diagnose Neoplasia within 20 minutes throughout the body, right? And I have to keep up my promise because without keeping a promise doesn't make sense, right? So what we are going to do is in this module we're just going to discuss about patterns in neoplasia. It's much better than your Fibonacci patterns, right? So these patterns in neoplasia is I'm going to give you how to diagnose in the microscopy when a cancer is given, what type of cancer it is in 24 different ways. I want you to take notes and I want you to take notes in the way I want you to do it, right? So listen carefully. I want you to take a fresh page. In the first page, I want you to write 12 general patterns. This should be the first page. And the second page, I want you to write 12 unique patterns. I want you to write the same way what I say, no change at all. I'll show you images. I'll show you a pattern. Then I'll say which all tumors you are going to see that pattern. For example, the first pattern will be keratin pearl. I want you to write keratin pearl like this in the first, and below that I want to write it is seen in squamous cell carcinomas. Right? It's seen in squamous cell carcinomas from head to foot. This is what I'll say, and I want you to write like this. So second pattern below. Third pattern, what is the pattern and where do you see? Okay? I want you to write fast. It's a video, right? If you feel I am going fast, hit a pause button, write down the conditions, then go to the next one. Right? It's very simple to do that. Okay? Shall we start? It's going to be amazing. Next 20 minutes, stay with me. After 20th minute, maybe the 21st minute, everything will be done. Everything will be done. If you don't believe me, wait for 20 minutes. Okay? So these are the 24 patterns in neoplasia. Okay? A pattern-based diagnosis is what pathologists do in day-to-day life in microscopy to diagnose cancer. That's what I do as an oncopathologist in our hospital, right? I'm just going to share my experience to you guys so that you don't miss out on any image-based question which you consider the most difficult, right? Let's start. The first pattern, as I told, it's keratin pearl. You can look at them, right? All these are things which I have drawn. This keratin pearl, the round things, it will be written first on the top. These round things, acellular stuff, that's a keratin pearl. Pink color, whorl is a keratin pearl. And as I said before, keratin pearls will be seen in every squamous cell carcinoma from head to foot. I want you to write the same way I told you to write, right? Squamous cell carcinoma of skin, oral cavity, nasal cavity, oropharynx, nasopharynx, larynx, lung, esophagus, trachea, anal canal, cervix, vagina, vulva, penis, everywhere. Same cancer. Same appearance. It will have keratin pearls. For an undergraduate, this is how it will be given. So I want you to remember that, only that. Next. The second pattern is gland. See, if you look at this image, you can see a gland, right? This is a gland. Wherever I'm writing, it's a lumen of the gland. Gland. It's a normal gland, that's all. I want you to write glands. Where do you see glands? Perfect. We saw that first in the naming of neoplasia, adenocarcinoma. I'll see them in adenocarcinoma from head to foot. Any adenocarcinoma, whether it's salivary glands, minor salivary glands, major salivary glands, lungs, esophagus, lower end, entire GIT, pancreas, liver, wherever I see adenocarcinoma, the pattern will be glands. Second, we'll move to third. The third one is called as a nesting pattern, right? This is a nest. When you look at this, there are multiple spaces, right? It's a nesting pattern. It's like a bird's nest. Just write nesting pattern. I'm going to have tumor cells enclosed in a fibrous space. That's all. Enclosed in a space. Maybe round, maybe oval, maybe any shape. It's just enclosed in a space. That's called as a nesting pattern. So where do I see nesting patterns? There are many conditions where a pathologist will be seeing nesting patterns, and they are here. You will see nesting patterns in carcinoid. From head to foot, any carcinoid you will see nesting pattern. I want you to write them. I want you to write all of these. If I'm going fast, put a pause and write them, then move to the next. I'll also write by the side so that I will be in the same pace. Carcinoid, from head to foot, neuroendocrine tumors, okay, pheochromocytoma, just write pheochromocytoma of the adrenal medulla, paraganglioma. Paraganglioma is actually the extra-adrenal pheochromocytoma seen in any sympathetic ganglia. There also I'm going to see the same guy. Okay. Next, seminoma bar dysgerminoma. In that also I am going to see seminoma of testis and dysgerminoma of ovary. In that also I am having the nesting pattern only. So nests of tumor cells enclosed in a perfect capsule. It's nesting pattern, and these are the 5 places where we'll be seeing nesting pattern. Third one. Fourth. The fourth image, fourth pattern is small round blue cells. Nothing rocket science in that. Small, round and blue cells. I want to write number 4. Small, round, blue cells. And where do I see small round blue cells is whenever a tumor ends in blastoma. If the end is blastoma, neuroblastoma, nephroblastoma, retinoblastoma, all the blastema tumors except 2 of them, glioblastoma and hemangioblastoma. This came in an MCQ, NEET exam. Hemangioblastoma will not have small round blue cell, will have vessels. Glioblastoma we'll see soon. Okay? Embryonal tumors. What I mean by that is, if any tumor has embryonal in the name before it, embryonal rhabdomyosarcoma, will be having small round blue cell morphology. Ependymomas in the CNS, small round blue cells. Fine? And Ewing sarcoma, a famous one. Bone soft tissue, we can have Ewing's. That also will have small round blue cell morphology. Fine? That's the fourth pattern, I guess. Okay? It may be a bit boring. Wait for some time. Wait, I said 20-25 minutes, right? Wait, give the time to me. I'll make sure it will be interesting. Papillary pattern. When you look at this, I'm having a finger-like projection. So I'm just drawing it again. I'm having a finger-like projection with a central fibrovascular core. That's a papillae. We already read this in the first chapter when we had samoma bodies. I'll be seeing papillary pattern in any tumors with papillae in the name and with any tumors with serous in the name. Right? Just write papillae, serous. Papillary carcinoma of thyroid, papillary carcinoma of breast, papillary carcinoma of kidney, your urothelial papilloma, everywhere papillary pattern. Right? As well as serous. Serous is adenocarcinoma of ovary, endometrium, anywhere. When you see the word serous, microscopy will have papillae. Okay? Next. Sixth, cribriform. Cribriform pattern. It looks like a Swiss cheese. I just zoomed the Swiss cheese. The other name is Swiss cheese pattern. Holes. So I'm going to have something rounded in shape with multiple tiny holes in it. So this, when I look, it looks like a gland. Like means oid in pathology. Looks like a gland with multiple tiny cysts in them. I'm going to call them as adenoid cystic carcinoma. Adenoid cystic carcinoma, salivary glands, I'll see the cribriform pattern. And DCIS is ductal carcinoma in situ. There's a variant of DCIS where I'll see the cribriform pattern, right? DCIS, cribriform variant, I'll be seeing the cribriform pattern, okay? That's with this pattern. Next is palisading pattern. You can see a fence there, right? Palisading means parallel to each other. It's going to be parallel like a fence. I want you to write palisading pattern. When you look at this palisading pattern, when you look at this person, here the nucleus, if I'm going to draw a line in the nucleus, more or less looks parallel, right? If I'm having parallelly arranged nucleus, I'm going to call that as a palisading pattern. When I see palisading pattern in the brain, I'm going to think of the blastoma, which is an exception, glioblastoma. Okay, I'll think of glioblastoma. Basal cell carcinoma of skin also will have palisading pattern. That's a second tumor. Please write it down. Right? Next, in schwannoma. In schwannoma, there is a structure called as Verroque bodies. You must have heard them. If you have not heard them, we'll learn soon, right? Verroque bodies. There also you will be seeing the palisading pattern. 3 tumors where you see palisading pattern. Fine. Next, cartilage. A simple normal cartilage, nothing else. First MBBS you must have seen. You must have broken the slide in the corner and written cartilage, right? So write cartilage. Normal appearing cartilage. If I have cartilage, I'm going to see them in these tumors. Pleomorphic adenoma of salivary gland. Just write this, cartilage, and below that write this. Pleomorphic adenoma of salivary gland. Okay. I'll be seeing cartilage in pulmonary hamartoma, or I can, for your thing, I'll also write pulmonary chondroma. I'll see cartilage. Chondroma anywhere. Bone. I can have a chondroma in the bone. I'll see the same cartilage in the chondroma of the bone as well. Fine. Teratoma. Teratoma, you know that is three types of germ cell layers. All three layers. Epithelial, mesenchymal and endodermal. For an undergraduate, if I'm going to ask teratoma in microscopy, I will make sure that there's a cartilage. That's how it's good. It's easy for an undergraduate to identify. So cartilage, teratoma, ovary commonly, testis, pulmonary hamartoma, chondroma anywhere in the body, and your pleomorphic adenoma salivary gland will have cartilage in microscopy. Fine. Next pattern. Oncocytic pattern. See, what I told first was most of the cancers are blue in color. This is an exception. There's a tumor. I'm just putting around for the cell alone. There's a cell margin. The cell margin. If you look, it looks pink. That's an oncocyte. A cell with an abundant pink cytoplasm is called as an oncocyte. Okay? So where do I see oncocytic pattern? Oncocytic pattern will be seen in Whorled tumor of salivary gland. I'm just writing in brackets, Whorled will have papillary pattern as well as oncocytic, so don't get confused. Actually, Whorled has papillae lined by oncocytic cells. That's how Whorled look, right? Papillae lined by oncocytic cells. And fibrolamellar HCC, hepatocellular carcinoma, the variant of it, not the original hepatocellular carcinoma, the variant of the hepatocellular carcinoma, and renal oncocytoma. It's there in the name, renal oncocytoma. All of them will have the oncocytic pattern. Okay? Fibrolamellar HCC, renal oncocytoma, and Whorled. So if I look at the image of these tumors, it look too pink. When I have the too much of pink color, I'm going to think of an oncocytic pattern. Look at the options. If either of these three that, they can go. That's it. Clear? Next. I'm just giving you one more information which I know you guys already know. Mesenchymal tumors, this is not a pattern. Just write in the corner or just remember it. Any mesenchymal tumor will have spindle-shaped cells. You must have drawn in your histology notebook spindle-shaped cell like this, right? Spindle shape. But unfortunately, in a microscopy, in a HNE, I won't see the perfect cytoplasm. What I'll see is only the blue nuclei. If any cell has elongated nuclei, okay, that's a spindle-shaped cell. That's the basic dictum to identify a spindle-shaped cell. Any cell with an elongated nuclei is a spindle-shaped cell. This is not a pattern, just remember it. I'm going to have few patterns based on this. 10th pattern. When I have spindle-shaped nuclei, see, I'm just zooming it up for you. These nuclei are elongated, right? It's not round. It's not round, it's elongated. It's elongated a little bit at least. So when I have elongated nuclei in a whorled pattern, we saw this pattern also in your samoma bodies, right? When I have whorled appearance, two tumors is going to come to your mind. Gynecology, perfect, leiomyoma, as well as brain, meningioma, right? So when I have whorled pattern, you'll have these two tumors. I want to say one thing. The first pattern, keratin pearl, also was whorled. This is also whorled. How do you differentiate? Keratin is acellular, completely pink. This has cells, elongated cells. So one day I wanted to know the elongated cells. Fine? Clear? Next pattern. 11th. When I have a spindle-shaped cell, see this is spindle-shaped cell, elongated nuclei with a tiny little vacuole, and spindle-shaped cell, elongated nuclei with a tiny little vacuole. When I have spindle-shaped cell with vacuoles, right, this goes without saying. When I have spindle-shaped cell with vacuole, I'm going to have one diagnosis, that is going to be GIST. Gastrointestinal stromal tumor, that's the diagnosis. When I have spindle-shaped cell with vacuoles, I'm going to think of GIST. That's 11th pattern. I said 12 in general, 12 in unique, right? Just a second. 12 in general and 12 in unique, right? So this is the 11th pattern. Okay? The 12th pattern will be biphasic pattern. Okay? Just a second, it went off. Yeah. This is the 11th pattern. Your vacuoles, the 12th is biphasic. So what do I mean by biphasic pattern is? When I'm going to have elongated spindle-shaped cell, mesenchymal component plus adenoid, glands, epithelial component. Look at this image. You can see this part, right? I'm just going to draw something here. This part, we'll take a black color. Gland, right? Gland. I have epithelial component. I'm writing E here, and here all this in between the blue color are elongated spindle-shaped component. When it's biphasic, I'm going to think of few tumors. Synovial sarcoma. This was already asked as an MCQ. Do know it. Biphasic tumor, synovial sarcoma, and fibroadenoma. It's there in the name. Fibro, mesenchyme, adenoma glands. Both will be there. These are the 12 general patterns. Clear? Done? Okay? Just close your eyes once. Go through it. I'm just going to say it randomly. Cribriform, adenoid cystic, keratin pearl, glands, we had nesting, we had elongated cells, epithelium, we had biphasic, we had vacuoles, we had whorled pattern, we had papillary pattern, oncocytic pattern, random patterns. It's there in your head, don't worry, you'll not forget. Maybe you'll require one more time to read, but you'll be masters of this. Take it from me. Just 12 more patterns. Just 12 more patterns, the entire neoplasia from head to foot, image-wise, you're going to be a rock star. You will be. Believe me, you will be. See, I believe in you, so you have to believe in me, right? Unique patterns. Take the next page, the same exercise, pattern, tumor. Pattern, tumor. The first pattern is fried egg appearance. I either call it fried egg appearance or I call it a perinuclear halo. This is a nucleus. I'm putting a black color dot here. Nucleus. Surrounding the nucleus, I'm having an area of clearing, right? That's your perinuclear halo. Fried egg appearance, perinuclear halo, I'm going to think of two tumors, oligodendroglioma, seen in the brain. In chromophobe RCC, I use the term perinuclear halo. It will look the same. Okay? In oligodendroglioma, I use the term fried egg appearance. In chromophobe RCC, I use the term perinuclear halo. Both will look the same in microscopy, right? This is the first unique pattern. Unique patterns are going to be very simple. Most of you already know. Second unique pattern. Signet ring appearance. Look at them, no? Beautiful. A cell with mucin, nucleus pushed to the corner, looks like a signet ring. Right? A signet ring appearance is seen in, we just know SAW. Right? We just know SAW. Signet ring appearance seen in diffuse gastric cancer. There's a type of gastric cancer, diffuse gastric cancer. I've just put one more information here. This you guys already know. Mucin means it will be clear. In microscopy, mucin is going to be clear. That information also I can use it to diagnose some tumors. We'll see what it is. Fine. Signet ring carcinoma seen in diffuse gastric cancer. That's the second unique pattern. Okay. My number will continue as 13, 14 and 15. You write as 1, 2 and 3. Okay. Leaf-like. Oh, amazing, right? Exactly looks like a leaf. Right? It exactly looks like a leaf. Leaf-like pattern is seen in phyllodes. The classical appearances, leaf-like pattern seen in phyllodes tumor of breast. Okay? That's the third, right? Third unique pattern. Few more, 9 more. Your bosses. Next. Indian file pattern. This also we saw in the tumors of prosagine chapter. When it's an Indian file pattern, I have cells one behind the other. The reason for this is your loss of CDH1, loss of E-carotene, and a seen lobular carcinoma of breast. Indian file pattern, seen one behind the other. I'm sure you'll remember the story of Indian file, right? You will. It's seen in lobular carcinoma of breast. 8 more to go. Next, are you ready? Yeah. Coffee bean nuclei. I'll zoom it a bit for you. When you look at this, you have a nuclear grooving, right? You have a central nuclear grooving. That's called as a coffee bean nuclei. When a cell looks like a coffee bean nuclei, I'm going to see few of the tumors which have this characteristic nuclei. Langerhans cell histiocytosis is an hematological tumor. You will see them in granulosa cell tumor of ovary and Brenner's tumor of ovary. In those two conditions, you will see this pattern. Fine. Okay. Coffee bean nuclei, a linear groove in the nucleus. Fine. That will be seen here in these 3 tumors. Next. Amyloid. Pink. Amyloid is this. This part is amyloid. How do you identify amyloid? Is pink, acellular, extracellular, no particular shape, amorphous. That is how amyloid looks. When you have amyloid in microscopy, and if the options are cancers or tumors, you're going to think of two tumors, insulinoma and medullary carcinoma of thyroid, right? When you see amyloid, amyloid is pink and no shape. When you see a tumor with pink and no shape, you're going to think of amyloid, and you'll see them in these two tumors, medullary carcinoma of thyroid and as well as insulinoma. These are two tumors where you'll see amyloid. Okay, clear? We'll go to the next one. Yes, 5 more, just 5 more. Comedo necrosis. So what does a comedo mean? Comedone is the black head and white head, the tip. Comedone means the tip. So here I am having necrosis in the center. I am having necrosis in the center. Surrounding it, it's all the tumor cells. Comedo necrosis, I'm sure most of you guys will know this. Comedo necrosis is a classical finding seen in DCAS. DCAS, actually the comedo type of DCAS is where we'll see the comedo necrosis, right? That's this pattern, right? Clear? I hope you have written it. We saw one more pattern in DCAS, Cribriform pattern, right? That also can be seen in DCAS. Next, clear cells. I have already told you in the first chapter itself, when something is clear, I'm going to think of one guy who is fat. So clear cells, we have already read in VHL, von Hippel-Lindau, a tumor with clear cells, which is going to be clear cell carcinoma of kidney. That's my first thing. Second, obviously, lipoma, right? That you will not miss. When I see clear cells in microscopy, clear cell RCC as well as lipoma. Whenever you hear clear cell RCC, you are going to get excited because of the entire pathogenesis of von Hippel-Lindau, right? That's this pattern about clear cells. 4 more. Schiller-Duval bodies. Glomeruloid bodies. Why I'm calling it glomeruloid is, this is actually a vessel. I'm writing VSL for vessel. You can see the RBCs in the center. Surrounding that, it has capillaries. Surrounding that, it has tumor cells. This is how actually a fetal glomerulus looks. When I come to kidney chapter, I'll show you a fetal glomerulus, right? A Schiller-Duval body or a glomeruloid, oid means like, looks like a glomerulus. Schiller-Duval body is seen in a tumor. I'm sure you must have screaming now, right now, yolk sac tumor of testis and ovary. Okay? Schiller-Duval bodies or glomeruloid bodies is seen in yolk sac tumor of testis or ovaries. Fine? Next. Rosenthal fibers. These are pink elongated fibers. These guys are the Rosenthal fibers. They are the pink elongated fibers, okay, seen in background of glial matrix. They are pink, just pink elongated fibers. When you see this term Rosenthal fibers or something like this pink and elongated, it's going to be seen in pilocytic astrocytoma. It's also a brain tumor, a unique pattern. Actually, it was asked as an theory-based MCQ, not as an image-based one. Rosenthal fibers are seen in pilocytic astrocytoma. Fine? Clear? We'll go to the next one. We are ending. 23rd. Azzopardi effect. I'll explain what is Azzopardi effect when you come to lung. Okay? Now just write. Azzopardi effect is a pattern where it will be seen in small cell carcinoma of lung. I'll explain everything about Azzopardi. It's very, very logical. Once general pathology gets over, you are good to go. You are really good to go. You will do everything. I'm just going to say, take that, run. You will run faster than Roberts. Take it from me, you will do it. I believe in you, right? Azzopardi effect is seen in small cell carcinoma of lung. The last but not the least, triphasic pattern. We saw biphasic, this is triphasic seen in Wilms. Triphasic means, what is this? This is a gland, right? Gland-like, which is epithelial. When you see this place, where I'm putting a circle, it looks like small blue cells. That's called as a blastemal pattern. Okay, this is blastemal. Small blue cells. When you look at the B, which is being marked, it looks pink. That is stromal. We'll read them when you come to Wilms. Okay, we'll read them in detail when you come to Wilms. But when you see triphasic pattern, I'm going to think of Wilms tumor. Fine. That's about the 24 patterns. It took 20 minutes, maybe here and there, plus or minus 5. Okay. Now we are going to create magic. Open your textbook. The center page, general patterns, unique patterns. Just look at it. Don't look at me. Look at the book. I'm going to ask you questions. You're going to say what pattern it is. Maybe first time it will be a bit difficult, but yes, this is doable. Let's go organ by organ. Let's take it as a challenge. Brain. Glioblastoma. Palisading pattern. Meningioma. Whorled pattern. Ependymoma. Small round blue cell pattern. Choroid plexus papilloma. Papilloma. Papillary pattern. Medulloblastoma. Small round blue cell pattern. Pilocytic astrocytoma. Pink fibers. Rosenthal fibers. Right? We're done. Oligodendroglioma. Fried egg appearance. Almost every tumor in brain which you want to know is being done. CP angle schwannoma. Palisading pattern Verroque bodies. Brain is done. Right? Eyes. Retinoblastoma. Small round blue cell pattern. Melanoma uveal. Uveal melanoma. I'm not told the pattern, but you'll know. Melanoma. Color. That's all. We'll come to nose. Esthesioneuroblastoma. Small round blue cell pattern. Inverted papilloma. Papillary pattern. Squamous cell carcinoma. Keratin pulse. Salivary gland. Pleomorphic adenoma. Cartilage. Right? Mucoepidermoid carcinoma. Mucin. Clear. Perfect. Adenocystic carcinoma. Cribriform. Cyst-like spaces looking like a gland. Right? I forgot one more. Watkins tumor. Oncocytic pattern. If it is not any of this, actinic cell carcinoma. Done. Oral cavity. Squamous cell carcinoma. Keratin pulse. Adenocarcinoma. Glands. Major one will be these. Lung. Squamous cell carcinoma. Keratin pulse. Adenocarcinoma. Glands. Carcinoid. Nesting pattern. Small cell carcinoma of lung. Azzopardi effect. Esophagus. Squamous and adeno, that's all. Stomach. Only adeno, that's all. GIT. Only adeno, that's all. Everything is done. Right? Everything is done. Cervix. Squamous cell carcinoma, you know. Ovary. Adenocarcinoma. Mucin secreting adenocarcinoma. Mucin plus glands. Serous cyst adenocarcinoma. Serous papillae. Done. Granulosa cell tumor. Your coffee bean nuclei. Perfect. Teratoma. Cartilage. Perfect. Dysgerminoma. Nesting pattern. Perfect. You know everything. You have every information in 2 pages. Amazing, right? You will do well. I'm going to teach you. See, I'm not going to give you informations. I'm not going to give you facts. I will never say that everything will come from my notes. I believe in one thing. Don't give a person a fish. Teach the person how to fish. I'm going to teach you how to fish. I'm going to teach you how to learn. That's my only goal. If you have done 1% of it, if I have made you 1% better in learning before seeing my video and after seeing my video, my job is done. You'll go on your own, right? So now, with the excitement, we'll close the chapter of Neoplasia. We'll see you soon in another chapter. Till then, bye-bye from Dr. Ranjit. Bye-bye. Keep smiling always. Bye.